everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be replacing the threshold at my back door. Several years ago, my grandparents had the porch enclosed and they moved the kitchen door, or the back entrance, and pushed it back to make the new entrance once they enclosed the porch. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, this is the original entrance to the house right here. And then when they enclosed the porch, they moved the entrance to right here. Now, the problem with the door is that the floor, or the porch floor, is pitched, so if water ever got on it, that it would run off and away from the back door. And it's concrete. So when you open the door in, the floor is raising up. So the gap between the door and the floor is actually closing. So I can't just put a sweep right here and fix the gap problem, because the sweep ends up getting shoved underneath the door and you can't open the door all the way. So I bought this door sweep about 3 years ago, and when we got that Arctic blast a few weeks ago, that was all the incentive I needed to get this project done. I don't know how I'm going to fix this door. I think maybe if I just make the new threshold higher, that it'll close the gap, because the door doesn't sit over the threshold, the rubber gasket that's on the threshold. It butts up against it. So since there's such a huge gap, I think what I'm going to do is just maybe raise it up, put some shims or something underneath it and close that gap. All right, here is below the back door, and as you can see here, you can see daylight, and I can feel the cold air as I film this. So let me open the door and we'll see what we're going to be working with. So this is the threshold, and let's zoom you in. Let's get a close-up look. As you can see, it's split. It has come undone from here. It's not in very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put in a new one. And I think I'm going to have to shim this up at the bottom. I don't know how this is attached. I don't even know how this goes together. So let's see what we got going on. Let me go in the opposite direction. Hang on. Alright, I don't know what tools I need, so I just brought the staple of any home improvement project. So let's see. I don't know how this goes on, so let me sit down. Sorry about the lighting, that's all I've got. How does this even go on? Is it glued? Does this come off? I'm not worried about tearing it up. It's already, Ugh. Oh, okay. All right. It looks like it's been glued on, so sorry about the shadowing. Alright, so this screw is not even in here. Now let's go over here and go ahead. Okay. This is probably too small. All right, I got the screw out. It's nice and rusty. All right, there is another screw. I didn't see it. Oh boy. I don't think this is going to be the right size. I'll be right back. Let's see what kind of screws are put in here. I think it's coming out. Here it comes. Okay, that's all I need. All right. It's been in there for a while. All right. Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let me get this cleaned up so I have something I can see what's going on. So let me go throw this in the, well, I got to use this as a template. This looks like it's been worked on a few times. Here's the original rubber. Here's some shims. Some trim. That's quarter round right there. Another piece of quarter round. Yeah, this thing, and then all this trim, shims right here. So I'm going to throw, well, I got to keep this. This big metal piece is my template, so I'm going to keep this right here. The rest of it I'm going to throw in the trash. We'll vacuum this out and we'll see what we got to work with from here. Alright, so I think these two holes right here and right here, these are going to have to be drilled out. They are just packed with dirt. This is the linoleum from back in the day, and here is the underlayment for this pergo right here. So underneath all this is concrete. Alright, I went to the big box store and I got another threshold. And this one is the heavy duty high profile threshold, since there's such a significant gap. So I'm going to try this. I need to go over there with that soap and water and clean that linoleum that was underneath that threshold, because it's got a lot of dirt still there. And this has rubber gaskets and I really want it to make a good seal. So that came pretty clean. There's some stuff I can't do anything with. Alright. Well, it seems like as though it's going to be long enough. Well, that's good. So what I have to do is I got to cut where it goes around this right here, which is the stop, which is what the door has to hit to close. I'm going to take the old threshold, I'm going to outline it, and then I'm going to take my jigsaw and I'm going to cut it out. So I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes. All right, my clamps are being used to hold up a pole or a post out there in the pole barn. So and these are too small, so I'm just going to have to screw this to the table so it won't move on me. There we let's see how this fits. Oh yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, now that these are in, I'm going to tap this in. There we go, and I'm going to move all this out of the way. Alright, that's as tight as it's going to get. Put it in. Do the middle one first if I have to make any adjustments. All right, here we go. So apparently you put this one edge in and then you squeeze it to put the other edge in. There we go. I have a feeling I'm going to have to make adjustments since the floor slopes this way. Make sure I got that screw down real good, because I don't want them raised up and wearing a hole in this rubber. All right, let's see if it worked. Ooh, not good. Oh, not good. It's worse. Oh, look at that gap. It's worse. Oh boy, that's bad. Okay guys, it's been a couple of days and it's got shims underneath here. This is not going to work. I mean, it works. I just don't like it because I can see right now that it's going to be a catch-all for dirt and debris. So what I decided to do is just to take this up and then we'll pull this linoleum up, and then I am going, hopefully I can get this linoleum up. Watch it be glued down. But I'm going to take the linoleum up and I'm going to concrete this in, or cement this in. And I know you're saying,
don't do that, it's permanent.
well, good. But no, it's not permanent. I can always just take a hammer and chisel it out if I have to. Now I'm going to mix up some concrete and we're going to get this thing set. I get this from my local mom and pop store, and it's just a small bag of concrete. I've got several of these. I'll just mix them one at a time. Before we do the concrete, I need to put down a bonding agent. So I'm going to pour this outside real quick and then I'll bring it back in. Okay, I've got the concrete wet. All of that is wet and cleaned, and I did it to where I can form it. This is consistency I want, like peanut butter, and that way I can shape it and I can stick the threshold down inside of it and then form it as I need it. Now after I apply this, I have to put the mud on immediately. Now I got a brush. I'm going to brush it on. And I'm going to do a little bit at a time. Now I'm also going to be pushing the concrete underneath this doorstop right here. That'll help keep bugs from getting in. And I'm also smashing it down. I'm going to build it up higher than this, but this is just the start. Just to cover the adhesive. Oops, that went under the house. All right. I'm gonna try to get it pushed up against the brick. Other side. There we go. Hopefully you can see that I'm pushing this concrete into all these little nooks and crannies. It'll help it be easier to clean. It'll look nicer. Alright, there it is. Now, I've got to clean it real quick and get all that off of there. So what I got to do is I got to close the door and see what I need to raise. That is perfect. All right, build this up a little bit more. That'll help keep it in place. I gotta raise this up a little bit more, make it smooth. I'm gonna try to slope this. I'm gonna try to get it down in that hole too. Let me shove some down in that hole. There we go. Now that'll stop debris from getting in there as well. Didn't have an expectation of how long this would take. it turned out pretty good. It's repaired. That's the most important thing. The door is fixed. The only thing I wish I would have done was cut the metal to where it touched the door frame. That's the only thing. I wish I would not have used the old threshold as a template. That was a mistake. But overall it looks good. I hate the bricks are not all the same height. It kind of makes it look wonky, but that's okay. It's an old house and it is wonky. But I do wish. Now I did put some concrete in here, and I need to fill in the gaps back there. That's going to be a catch-all. Now I've got to put another bead of caulk down just to make sure there's no holes or gaps. But all in all, I'm glad that it's fixed. That's what's most important. And there are no gaps. Let's go inside real quick before I close out and see how it looks. Let's close this door. No gaps. Yep, there are no gaps. Let's get under here. None. It is fixed. I'm super, super pleased. Awesome. I just want to thank you guys for being here. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for tagging along. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Hit that like button, and if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below in the comments section. I will see you in the next.